I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce.
Good evening, everybody. Happy, what would this be? Wednesday morning for everybody. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Obviously, you can see I'm hosting today. Kyle's behind the scenes producing. He's got a lot of college football stuff. I got the normal crew with me, Spoon and TV Jones. I had a decent day. I was like 4-2, like nothing crazy. I think just under a unit, nothing crazy. How was your guys' day?
Yeah, I went 2-1, same thing, just right around a unit plus. I'll take it any day.
Absolutely. TV Jones?
Yeah, I'm going to be 3-4. Minnesota first 5 hit, but Brewers, no dice. 7th and 8th innings. Needed to get some runs.
Hey, I mean,
whatever.
Contreras just worked a walk. You got man on, no outs. Everything's all right. You're not dead yet. Now.
There we go.
So,
I got to throw it down, actually.
Anyway, let's get this thing started underway. This is one of my losses today. Cincinnati on the road in Washington. I played the over. I thought that I might get lucky with these. I mean, part of the reason I played it was the bullpens, and I mean, man, the Reds offensively just didn't do anything to help. So, and the Washington runs, they had one big inning. It kind of looked worse than it really was personally. But Spoon, anything on this one? I kind of want to play the Nationals. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I was going back and forth between this. Lodolo has those reverse splits where he's got a 1.65 whip versus lefties. And this Nationals lineup, all the bats that I'm scared of are lefties. The bats themselves don't hit lefties that well. So it's kind of a moot point, but I had more of a lean towards Cincinnati. I'm just not going to get there because I can't trust this offense. When they fall in ruts and they score 1-0. You can go through their game logs on the season. It's kind of scary to look at. I was kind of thinking their bats might be coming alive, but Soroka is excellent at getting righties out. He's got a .82 whip on his short work on the season so far, and that's most of the Cincinnati lineup, so I'm not going to get there with a bet.
TV Jones, I really want to fade Lodolo. He has terrible, and I do mean terrible history versus the Nats. I'm sure you're aware as a Nick Lodolo apologist. What's your idea in this game?
Yeah, I wanna back Lodolo still. I mean, Washington got all those runs. You know, Cincinnati had chances. They didn't do anything, but I'm afraid they did nothing. And what happens with the Cincinnati team is it's a freaking roller coaster. And they scored runs, and now they did nothing again tonight. So there's a very good possibility and chance that they do absolutely nothing again tomorrow. It would be Cincinnati or nothing, and I'm not going to touch this game. There's other 8-day games that I like, but Cincinnati did nothing tonight. I would not be shocked if they scored none or one run tomorrow. It's just what they've done the entire year. It's just up and down. There's no consistency. If they're scoring 7 or 8, they're scoring 7 or 8. If they're scoring 1, they're scoring 1. Yeah, you got lucky, Ben Rice, that friggin' bastard.
Oh, man. So, yeah, I was dead serious. I really want to bet Washington here. I know we have a perceived starting pitching advantage, but, I mean, yes, the Nationals are terrible versus lefties, but I mean, we can't ignore, not only did Washington already light Lodolo up in Cincinnati this year, say what you want about that, but they also lit him up last year in Nationals Park as well. And he really struggles versus lefty bats. And I mean, it's a 365 WOBA, a 445 xFIP. I mean, it's really, really bad. And honestly, I mean, Soroka really hasn't been that bad. He had one bad start against Boston, and besides that, I mean, he pitched well against the Padres. He pitched well on the road in St. Louis. I mean, on the road against the Dodgers, on the road against the Angels. I mean, he's not going like super deep into games in all these games, but the Nationals didn't use any of their main arms in the bullpen. So I don't really trust this Reds offense to just bounce back against Soroka. And Spoon mentioned it has really nice splits, especially against this Reds lineup with all the righties. So I really want to play Washington. I have them circled at -120. If I see it continue to move, I'm probably going to try to snipe at 120. I think it's a decent spot to play the Nationals at home tomorrow, personally.
And am I seeing this right, or are the Nationals kind of making some noise against lefties here?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's like hard because it's like so like –
They got
They had that
Crochet.
one big game against. They had 2 big games against 2 bad guys, but it's been consistently all right.
No,
is
this
my point.
11 base runners against Crochet is good.
Okay, yes, but
Interesting.
so I really want to bet the Nats tomorrow at plus 120. I'm going to be watching this line throughout the night and see where we go. So
Let's see what the voice chat. 1 second. This is Cincinnati, Washington. Here we go. OT's on Washington first 5. Soroka over strikeouts. Jacobs on the Reds money line. Boba's on Nationals team total over. Gab is on Nationals first 5 team total over. So a couple of people are on those on the Nats to score. Spoons leans Reds are under. Money marks on Washington team total over. Next game.
next game on the board, Padres on the road in Miami. TV Jones, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, I mean, you got Cease, who has not been sharp this year. Same can be said for Alcantara here, but Marlins, shout out them for getting that 4th run in the 8th with the triple,
Seriously.
2 outs, 2 strikes.
Beautiful.
Incredible, never a doubt to hit that over 3.5. But that's 2 games in a row where they've basically left like 6 to 8 guys on base, just leave, and that's just hits. I don't even know about walks, but they've just left guys on base, not being able to get that critical hit. And then Padres too, they got 5 runs in 2 games, and then the Marlins have 5 runs in 2 games also. Like, neither have looked good. I think this is a chance for both of these guys to pitch well. Both the offenses are kind of sputtering a little bit here. We have an 8 total with 2 guys that are perceived to be just trash cans and can get lit up in Miami. And we're sitting here at an 8 total, and it's a day game. Weird shit happens in day games. So I'm going to be inclined to play the under here. And if I had to pick a side, I would honestly pick Miami with the plus money. It kind of just feels like a coin flip game, and Cease being minus 150. A little steep right now for what the offense is doing and knowing what he does. But I do think both pitchers will be fine. So give me the under 8 in this game. I will probably fire on this, but I have not yet.
Spoon? Muted.
I had to play Sandy Alcantara defense in the voice chat. Everybody was absolutely throwing this guy under a bus. I understand he has not had a good season to this point, and coming off Tommy John, it's tough for a lot of older pitchers to get back, but the more he gets into the season, the more faith I have that we'll see a good Sandy again. I like this under a lot too. You can get the 8 right now. I see a couple 7.5s out there, so I don't see any reason not to just take the under 8 with these 2 pitchers. Cease on the other side, I expect him to pitch very well to this Miami offense right now. If we look at their splits numbers recently versus right-handed pitching, we see in the last 30 days they're 3rd in baseball in weighted runs created plus, but it's really just the work of 3 pitchers, Brandon Young, Nick Martinez, and a bad start from Lugo. So I don't see any reason why they get to Cease here. Day game, the bats take a little bit longer to wake up. I like the under 8. I haven't got to the ticket window though.
I've already bet the Padres personally. I think this is a really good spot to back them. I 100% agree with you though, Trevor, when you said that you think that both guys can pitch well because this number is already at 8, and I agree with you because Cease hasn't been great, Sandy hasn't been great at all. But I will say that there's one thing that I really love about the Padres is that this year, unlike other years, they've been winning the games that they're supposed to win. When they play play teams that are below 500, like the Marlins, they are 32-9 so far this season. So we saw it in Washington as well. This series before this, they won 2 of the games. They lost one of them. I think they do the same thing here tomorrow. They have the bullpen all ready to go. Nobody worked today. None of the A squad worked today. I know it's a little bit steep, but I think it's steep for a reason. Scoop made another really good point as well. The Marlins numbers versus righties look very, very good, but if you just make those Lugo, Martinez, and whoever the other guy was, Brandon Young starts just average, those numbers come down a lot. So, and the Padres bullpen don't look now starting to see a whole bunch of number 1s in those boxes. So just watch out. So yeah, I bet the Padres next game.
Did you just call Spoon Scoop?
Probably.
I thought I caught that.
My bad.
Our voice.
We're from the same drawer.
That was good. That was a good one.
Would be in the same drawer. All right, Padres Marlins from the voice chat. Jacob's on the Padres money line. Toast is on the Padres money line. Benji's on Kyle Stowers home run or hits, runs, and RBIs. Gab is on Stowers over bases. Leans Padres first 5 team total over. Charles is on Kyle Stowers home. Damn, everyone loves Stowers. OT's on the Padres. TJ's on the over 8, and so is it Gigi?
Like the Ben Affleck movie?
I'm not sure. Ben Affleck is in a movie called Gigi.
Yeah,
I
dude.
was
You
wondering.
don't know history? You don't know pop culture?
Apparently not. I kind of think you just made a movie up, though. All right, go on.
I think it was G. Lee is the name, but whatever. It was like his worst movie ever, whatever. Anyway, San Francisco on the road at Atlanta. Pissed off I didn't bet San Francisco yesterday. It was freaking air. Newsflash, I might do it again today. Spoon, what are your thoughts?
We got Spencer Strider on the mound versus Justin Verlander. I'm going to have a hard time trying to back Justin Verlander a lot this season. There's not a lot we've seen from him that looks that great, especially when we're talking about these Giants on the road. His better numbers are going to come at home in that pitcher-friendly park. It's a lot more offensive here when we play in Atlanta. I like Atlanta. Spencer Strider, he's got a brace in his arm put in the offseason. He had to deal with some leg injuries to start the season, and all that makes it really hard for a pitcher to get comfortable getting his routine. But the more he pitches, the more I have faith in him, and I think he can quiet these Giants bats. I'm not going to get there either with this game, but it's a lean to the Atlanta Braves.
Jonesy?
Yeah, it would be Braves, but I'm not paying minus 173 for this. Give me like a Braves team total over, or just Braves first 5 minus the half. I can look at that price. I no faith in Verlander. I mean, the Giants just went nuts tonight, 9-0. The Braves got embarrassed at home against them, and now you're going to get Justin Verlander on the bump here. It would be what you call it, Braves or nothing for me, but it's still scary. I mean, I vowed to never bet the Braves after last Saturday in that debacle against the Yankees, but here I am just a mere 4 days later wanting to bet the Braves. First 5 result, minus 132 for the half run. I would rather pay that than 173 to deal with, to pay that entire game price. But if anything, just team total over or Braves first 5, but really no true interest in betting this one. Also, can we check this Home Plate Umps FanDuel account? You just struck out Cheerio with no pitches in the zone.
Yeah, real strong showing from the Brewers there. Finished the game with 0 runs, 2 hits.
Oh my God, the Mariners got lucky that Cal Raleigh hit one out of the zone. It was out of the zone and went out of the park, and now the ump just covered their asses by striking out Cheerio. Not a single pitch in the zone. Bullshit.
He bets offshore. You won't find it on his FanDuel.
Yeah.
Fucking friggin'
That
bastard.
division lead lasted a whole 22 hours. Congratulations. That was awesome.
Oh my God, now we're tied. So sick.
So I really want to bet the
Really
Giants
down
here. Really, really bad. I'm going to wait to see what the number does. So you can put the Giants up for me for sure. Justin Verlander has been terrible. Well aware of that. But the Braves versus right-handed pitching is not a unit that I trust. And I also think that some of their numbers that you see over the last 14 days, even a month, are kind of fugazi. They hit up Dean Kramer and Mitch Spence. They hit up Will Warren, and then they had Hayden Birdsong, who walked 4 guys and gave up 1 hit, and they scored 5 runs. So my point to that is that Stroman pitched well against them. Sonny Gray pitched well against them. JT Ginn has pitched well against them lately. I'm not trying to make a case that I think that Justin Verlander is going to go out there and throw me 7 innings of scoreless baseball. But if I can get 6 innings of 2 or 3 run baseball, I think that we have a really good shot in this game because, for one, I don't think that Spencer Strider should be this big of a favorite towards anybody. And I know that we've talked so much about this Giants team and how their bats have been so bad, but they've really kind of started to pick it up lately. I mean, they scored 6 runs their last game in Toronto. They scored 5 runs on Monday. They scored 9 tonight. So I don't really think the bats are an issue right now. I actually think they're kind of a little bit one of those sneaky lineups right now after how bad they've been for so long. They also had faced some pretty decent pitching as well. So look, Strider is Strider. I'm not trying to make a case that he's not good. I've never really been a big fan of him, but him and the Braves should not be this big of a favorites right now. At home, on the road, it doesn't really matter for me. So He also struggles with lefty bats a little bit, so that's going to be Yastrzemski, Devers, Young-Hoo Lee, Donovan Smith, Patrick Bailey. So they can stack some lefties in there if they want. San Francisco is going to have pretty much their whole bullpen rested and ready to go as well. Just think that this game's a little bit mispriced. So San Francisco, for me, I'm going to watch it over the next hour or so.
Voice chat real quick. So in the Braves, just a couple picks here. Benji, who's in the chat tonight, what's up? Past your bedtime, Benji. Braves team total over, and an Acuna over hits, runs, and RBI. I remember when Steez called him Acuna. Boba Baldwin hits, runs, and RBIs. I'm assuming that's an over. Go on.
All right, next game up. Detroit on the road at Pittsburgh. Spoon, kick us off.
We got Detroit Tigers with a rookie on the mound, Troy Melton. This guy is a pretty high prospect, 10th ranked overall in the Tigers system right now. He'd probably already seen the majors if we hadn't had the just overload of good young pitchers coming up from the Tigers recently. He's got a fastball that can touch 98, 99, a slider, a changeup, a curve. He's got really good control at the AAA level here in Toledo. He's got a 2.72 ERA stretched across 6 starts. It's 36 innings. He looks really good. That's one of the more offensive parks in the Midwest that you'll see. I'd like to back Melton right out the gate here. I think we get some value by waiting, though. I see a minus 146 best number. I half want to move on it now. I don't have a lot of faith in Bailey Falter. You will not see Carpenter in this game. He's rehabbing in AAA right now in Toledo. He probably would be available first game in that Blue Jays series. So I'd like to see him in the lineup. You won't get it, but still, I think these Tigers bats don't want to get swept. I think this is a good spot for them to get a few runs off Bailey Falter, and I think there's some value associated with backing some of these rookies, especially good ones that people have never heard of.
TV Jones?
Yeah, I mean, as disgusting it is back in Bailey Falter, kind of like Pittsburgh at this price. Detroit, I know they put up 5 runs today, but they still haven't looked great whatsoever. And, Pittsburgh, obviously, they look good for one game. Congratulations. But, Troy Melton making his first start. What'd they get? 2-3 runs the game prior or something like that? Yeah, 3. They won 3.
Back-to-back days for me, first 5s. That's all I know.
Well, there you go, first 5s.
They're hot.
Yeah, Bednar didn't go tonight. I don't believe I actually turned that game off in the 7th inning, but I don't believe he pitched. They should be fine. I mean, at plus 127, going for a sweep. Detroit's not looked like themselves lately. Their defense looks horrible. Torkelson just sleeping at first base and Cruz stealing that home. And then the Pirates, back-to-back wins. They have a chance to sweep the Tigers. I think they come out motivated. Not to mention another day game. Weird shit happens. So, yeah, big deal. All right. Congratulations. We finally lost for the first time in 2.5 weeks. Right back at it tomorrow. Right back at it tomorrow. Not even worried.
Books will never give you Mizorowski at plus money again after tonight. No chance.
He was dominating them.
Yeah, for 4 innings. Cool.
Yeah. He still struck out 7 in 3 2/3.
No, he's really impressive for 4 innings. I have zero interest in betting this game. I've won back-to-back days with the Tigers. All I can say is that I wouldn't lay juice with Detroit, especially matter of fact, kind of in general right now, and especially versus left-handed pitching, because they haven't done diddly poo since the beginning of, or since late of what was it? Let's see, the 19th against Andrew Heaney. So the last time that they saw this Pittsburgh team, they did a little bit versus lefties, but since then, Lopez, Springs, Gore, Allen, and Patrick Corbin have all pitched decent against them. So there's not a chance in hell I bet Detroit. So it would only be Pittsburgh or pass for me, but heavy emphasis on the pass.
All right, let's do voice chat real quick so we don't fall behind. All right, we just did Pirates, Tigers, Torres and Baez props from Saint. Jacobs on the Tigers, Spoon, as we just heard, is on the Tigers. TJ's on the under there in that one. Go ahead.
Next game on the board, Angels, another one of my losses today, had their team total over 3.5. Had chances though on the road in Queens versus Sean Manaea. Spoon, you can kick us off here.
Yeah, so Sean Manaea is recently coming back from injury. I think we're probably going to expect about 5 innings out of him. On the other side, we got a bullpen game going for the Angels. Burke's going to open. I don't see any listed pitcher to get the bulk of the innings, so I think this is probably going to be a combination of like 6 arms to go with the full 9. Even with that, I would lead in the Angels. These bats are hard to fade right now. I think versus a lefty, I don't see any reason they can't get to Manaea. But Manaea struggles more with left-handed hitters than he does right-handed hitters. He has those reverse splits, and the Angels leave a lot to be desired with left-handed bats. They only have one true lefty in the lineup likely going, so it's not something I have a huge lean on. It's hard to get there with bullpen games, especially with a lesser bullpen like the Angels, but it also gives you the ability to adjust on the fly and be able to take the next 3 hitters that are coming out of the lineup every single time and pick which pitcher you want to put in there. So lean to the Angels, but I won't bet it.
TV Jones.
I'm glad I didn't bet the Angels tonight. I wanted to, with Montas being that big of a favorite. Doesn't even matter. Angels can't do anything, even with a really good outing from Hendricks prior to that like 5th inning or whatever. But I don't know. Mets -1. Like, I'm so sick of this Angels team. Like, they can score, they'll look good, and then the 6th, 7th inning will roll around, and then the bullpen steps in just to give the game away every single time. It would be Mets -1. I'm not touching this game. I have no interest, but it is another day game. Could be weird shit that goes on in this one, but I'm not paying to. I'm not going to bet the Angels and stress at work listening to this team just give away the game in the 7th inning.
My team totals haven't populated, but if you can get another juice 3.5 team total, with the total 8.5, you probably should. It would be the Angels somehow, some way. Spoon is right, obviously, with the reverse splits for Manaea, so he's really good versus all the righties. But, I mean, the Angels have been scoring pretty consistently versus left-handed pitching, not to mention the fact that the Mets bullpen is going to be in a little bit of a situation. Stanek and Garrett are all going to be 3 of the last 4 days. Diaz worked back-to-back, so he didn't go today. The couple of the major guys in that bullpen, I would say, with Stanek and Garrett are kind of compromised. So I just do think that the Angels can score some runs. I don't know if they can actually win the game with that pitching staff, but I do think the Angels can score. But like I said, we don't know numbers on that one. So
and we don't have to do voice chat there, because when they did the voice chat, there were no odds open. It just opened before we started the show. So
all right, next game on the board. Kansas City, Chicago. Spoon, you're a Cubs fan. Take it away.
Yeah, we got Seth Lugo on the mound for the Kansas City Royals, and likely going Colin Ray. I see he's not actually listed on a few books, so maybe there's a small question mark there, but that's who I expect to pitch tomorrow. Colin Ray has great numbers versus righties, struggles with lefties. You're only going to see maybe 2 lefties in this Royals lineup. Nothing I'm too scared about. I think Colin Ray pitches really well tomorrow. Seth Lugo has definitely looked hittable of recent. Miami just got 5 earned off of him. I think the Cubs can get some runs off Seth Lugo tomorrow. There's a high implied total. The wind's blowing out at Wrigley. It's going to be in excess of 10 miles an hour blowing out. So fly ball pitchers are not in as good of a spot, but this is a spot where I'm going to lay it with the Cubs. Cubs -1 plus 108. I already bet it.
Yeah, I've already bet this game as well. I bet over 10 -122 on FanDuel. Personally, I think both these guys can get got. Actually, TV Jones, let me pull up my note. TV Jones, you can go first.
Yeah, it was over for me too. Basically, same thing you said. Both these guys can get hit. You got Wrigley, wind blowing out 11 miles an hour, 90 degrees. Both these teams can hit. I know the Royals didn't look good tonight, but they still popped up and had shown the ability to hit. And I think Ray is a guy who can get hit up. And then this Cubs team, I know they didn't look amazing the last couple of days, but they put up 6 today, and now it's gonna be 90 degrees, wind blowing out to left field with 11 miles an hour. This would be a spot I'm fine going down with the ship with an over 10 if it's 4-1, 4-2 final. So be it. But this is ideal scoring weather here.
Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead.
I just wanted to say part of the reason is that Lugo struggles with lefties, and so you're going to have obviously some of the power bats for the Cubs from the left-hand side: Bush, Tucker, Pete Crow, Armstrong, Ian Happ. But whatever, he's been all right. But on top of the fact that I don't really like the spot for Lugo, considering the fact that he's on the road. He got hit up in Miami. Then he went his other road starts previous to that. Seattle, hard to score runs. San Diego, they can't score runs, so it's not really impressive. Texas, they weren't scoring at the times, not impressive. On the road at the White Sox, again, not really impressive. So, and this Cubs team has consistently shown they can hit righties, especially at home. And then as far as Colin Ray is concerned, the Royals have started to hit their last 2 righties. We know that they can hit on the road. It's going to, like Trevor said, it's going to be really, really good weather there. I wish there was a little more lefties in that Kansas City lineup because Ray does struggle with lefties mightily. But regardless, I think that with the weather alone and the Cubs offense, I think this over gets there. So I think it's already 10.5 in some spots too. Go ahead, Colin.
I was just going to do the voice chat real quick. You can see everyone's on the Cubs. OT's on Bush and PCA, home run and bases.
All right. Next game on the board. Houston on the road in Arizona, right? Or no, that's the next one. Sorry. St. Louis, Colorado. I got absolutely nothing on this one. This series just kind of doesn't interest me at all. TV Jones, anything?
Yeah, I'm pulling up. Palante's been getting hit up, I believe, his last couple of outings. Game logs here. Yeah, he gave up 5 at Arizona, and then right before the break, he gave up 7 at home to Washington. So, I mean, he came out of the break, refreshed and rested up, still got rocked. I know it's Arizona, but now you're going into Colorado. It is going to be wind blowing in, 83 degrees, cloudy, though, but he's still getting hit up. Colorado and home. It's getaway day. I think St. Louis kind of starts just swinging and just getting out of town. Just like let's skedaddle, get the hell out of here. 163, I don't mind for Colorado at home. I mean, it's gonna be nice. Palante's been getting hit up. I know it's the Rockies and their pitching staff entirely, so there's really doesn't matter. They all suck, but Colorado, I think, can hit up Palante, and I think St. Louis is kind of just going to be swinging and trying to get out of town here to get on to the next one. I mean, so it would be Colorado or nothing. But I don't know. I highly doubt I play this game, but paying 200 for Palante in this Cardinals offense is pretty scary shit right now.
Agreed. Spoon?
I like the under 11.5 in this game. I think Tanner Gordon's a pretty good pitcher. We'd have a lot higher expectations of him if he wasn't coming up in this Rockies system. He's a guy that relies mostly on a 4-seam and a changeup to get his outs, and those pitches don't get affected as much in Colorado. I think he can probably keep St. Louis at bay, maybe give up 3 or 4 runs, and the Rockies bullpen gives up a couple more. I'd expect St. Louis to win this game, but I don't think the Rockies get that many on the other side versus Palante. He's a ground ball guy. I think that plays pretty well here in Coors. Also relies on his 4-seam fastball heavily. He also has a sinker that he uses. So I think this is a guy that probably pitches decent here. It's an under 11.5 for me. It's something I'm actually consider bettering.
Right on. Yeah, I got absolutely nothing for this one. So next game.
Real quick, voice chat. Let's see if they have anything. We left off on Royals Cubs. Cardinals Rockies. Spoon and Jacob both on the under. That's it. That's all I got.
All right. Next game on the board. Houston on the road in the desert against my boy, Brandon Pfaadt. Don't look now. 2 good starts in a row. He might actually be good. Newsflash, he's not. But anyway, curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this one. I definitely have thoughts on this one. TV Jones, kick it off.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it again tonight. I mean, Eduardo Rodriguez pitched out of his mind tonight, held St. Louis, Houston down. Bullpen comes in and immediately blows the game. It's just
so brutal.
Houston at even money. I don't care who they used. I don't trust Arizona's bullpen whatsoever. Houston, I think, is fine. They can score. Bryce Matthews, another dinger tonight. That's 3 in 2 games. So I think the plug and play pieces, obviously they're not Pena and Alvarez and whatnot, and Paredes, but I think they've been serviceable. They've been fine. So I have no problem. I'll go against Pfaadt. I know he's been looking good lately. But it boils down to who closes the game, and that's the bullpen. And I have zero faith in that bullpen. They've been a bottom 3 unit the entire season. So it would be Houston or nothing for me in this game. I just basically even money with the Astros, and you get to fade all 9 at bats, and you get this bullpen for Arizona included with Fott, who's not been good this year, but he's had a couple of good outings. He's gonna, I think, regress back to being a turd. So I would take even money with Houston personally.
Spoon.
I agree with Trevor here. This is a spot where Brandon Walter's on the mound for the Houston Astros. A left-handed pitcher. He's a rookie, a little bit older rookie, so he's more seasoned than most of the guys you see coming up. He's dominant at getting lefties out, a .84 whip on the season and 3.44 xFIP. And those are the bats I'm concerned about in this Diamondbacks lineup. On the opposite side, I think we're getting a gift that Brandon Pfaadt just wrapped for us between the last 2 starts between San Diego and St. Louis. And as much as I have struggles backing Houston without all the good bats, they're swinging really well. All the rookies that are coming up, everybody's just doing the next man up mentality. And I think this is a spot they can touch Brandon Pfaadt. There's no way this guy comes out and has a third start that's that elite, in my opinion. And if we get into this Diamondbacks bullpen, I mean, I think Houston gets even more runs. So I think we're getting a gift of a price here, -102. Probably going to bet it.
Yeah, I agree that there's going to be some runs for Houston. I also think that Arizona can score some runs. I played over 8.5 personally. I haven't got to the window with it yet, but I'm almost positive I'm going to actually bet it. So I will give Brandon Pfaadt his flowers. He has 2 back-to-back very good starts against bottom 10 offenses. I mean, the Padres can't hit to save their lives. St. Louis has really been struggling to score. I mean, keep in mind his previous starts before that, San Francisco, Miami, and Colorado. So it's not that this Houston lineup is some juggernaut, but they've been consistent. They've got to the last couple righty starters that they've seen in Zach Gallen and Brian Wu. And before that, I mean, Logan Evans, Luis Castillo, Evaldi, DeGrom, Bybee. I mean, so there's some pretty decent names on this list. My point being is that I do think that they're capable of scoring runs tomorrow. Not to mention the fact, I mean, the Diamonds bullpen, Jesus, is terrible. They also used what's their faces. They used Ginkel and Backus today, which are 2 of their top 3 arms. Again, they're not going to be rested or are not going to be unavailable or anything, but for me that matters. I think that helps Houston side. And then as far as the Arizona bats are concerned, they're starting to heat up versus lefty bats or lefty pitching. Colton Gordon, Kikuchi, Tyler Anderson, Bubik, Robbie Ray went 9, so that doesn't count. But Palmquist, Austin Gomber, this team is starting to score runs against left-handed pitching, consistently scoring runs versus left-handed pitching. On top of the fact that the Houston used Abreu and King today, so they're probably not going to be available tomorrow. You're only going to see Hader if it's a close situation, so you're going to be seeing guys like Sosa, Okert, or Neris type of thing. So I just think that there's multiple situations here where we see runs in this game. So over 8.5 for me.
In the voice chat, Jacob's on first 5 under. OT is on Arizona first 5 and Pfaadt over K's.
All right. Next game on the board. Oh, this will be easy. Trevor, go ahead and talk about it. We already know it's Milwaukee, Seattle. Trevor, go ahead. Muted.
Shit, good point. Yeah, you already know. Just rinse and repeat. Milwaukee money line. Quinn Priester on the bump. Ben Elite. Oh, congratulations! You got a home run off of a pitch out of the zone, and an umpire who was lining his own pockets by having Seattle money line tonight. So
blame the umpire when you have 2 hits in a game, Trevor. Real original.
It was against Logan Gilbert, and they didn't do shit against Mizorowski either. So congratulations. But yeah, I got the
He pitched for 5 minutes. He pitched for 5 minutes.
I know, dude. That's like
he struck out 7 of the 11 he saw. 7 of the 11. All right. 11, Cal Raleigh
saw 11 batters in a start. Wow.
Cal Raleigh should have been the other
he faced
one.
11 batters. Dude, 11.
He went like a 13 pitch at bat because the umpire, shocking, did not call the painted strike 3, and so the at bat just kept going on. He would have went probably 5 innings, but
11 batters. Will Vest sees more than that in an outing.
Oh, now you're talking shit about Mizorowski, the guy who's been absolutely lights out all season.
He said Will Vest sees more guys than that.
Knock it off. We're saving his ass when it really matters. Seattle series, big deal. We've won 12 straight prior to tonight. who gives a shit about this game? It starts back up tomorrow. With the Priest on the bump here. Quinn Priester been absolutely lights out this season. Castillo has the ability to get hit. It's a day game, so the ball's gonna be flying a little more. Milwaukee, they're definitely gonna show back up and get it rolling tomorrow, especially with the Cubs winning and then that the division being tied up again. They're gonna come out. They're gonna be ready to play. They'll have a day off on Thursday, so this is going to be an all-out max effort game. The entire bullpen will be emptied. McGill didn't go tonight, and Priester's just been absolutely lights out. So I will keep taking plus money with this team. That is a 14.5% ROI betting the Brewers this season. You guys can laugh all you want. I'm sitting here making money betting the Brewers.
Actually, that ROI is 1 day delayed, so it's lower than that.
13.9%. My bad.
Man. Spoon, go ahead.
I like the under 7.5 right here. Part of me wonders if we'll see an 8 in T-Mobile. I'd be really surprised, but you can get an under 7.5 minus 105 right now. It's in my bet slip. This is a park I've mentioned multiple times. It impacts scoring runs more than any other park, and that includes cores on the offensive side. And here in the day, you add the sun in is just one more factor that these batters have to try to get used to, try to get over. You can't get comfortable in the box swinging. These are two pitchers that I think we get some value with. Luis Castillo in his career, he's shown you that he can pitch really well at times, and those times right now are when he's in this pitcher's ballpark. And on the opposite side, Quinn Priester, there's no reason I have to try to fade this guy. I think he can pitch well versus the Seattle lineup. We saw 1 run scored today. I want to go right back to that under.
I really want to bet Seattle here personally. Sometimes I feel like what happens when the air gets let out of the balloon is kind of hard to blow it back up, and I think that's might have what happened with
flat,
Milwaukee
bro.
here.
That balloon's flat.
I'm just saying, it just feels a little bit flat, and it's going to be really hard to blow it back up. Not to mention the fact that, I mean, Castillo's been lights out at home. I didn't have a chance to go look at what Perkins and Collins do as lefty bats versus right-handed pitching, but I'm sure it's not nothing crazy. So there's, I mean, really, I mean, who's the lefty in that lineup that you're worried about? Christian Yelich? I mean, okay. I mean, so I think that Castillo can pitch well. Everybody in the bullpen be available. They used everybody tonight, but they all had nights off previously. And Priester's coming off a great game on the road versus the Dodgers, which, I mean, is that really that impressive right now, that the way that the Dodgers are playing? I mean, previous to that, his 2 road starts, he got absolutely throttled against Minnesota and Miami. So I'm just not in a position where and then on top of that, if you look at the numbers, the Mariners are better versus right-handed pitching. They've been just as good offensively as the Brewers have been. So I don't really think that there's really that big of an advantage for Milwaukee, besides the fact that they've been playing good baseball weeks prior to this. I think if we're looking at this game in particular, all the advantages go to Seattle. So it would only be Seattle for me. And I hate Luis Castillo. So just for that.
Voice chat for this one. We are on Milwaukee, Seattle. Gab is on both teams to score 3+ runs. Okay, Gab. Jacob's on first 5 under. Brewers first 5 plus a half run. Spoon is on the under, as you just heard. That's it.
All right. Next game on the board, Minnesota. Still, they're up 4 now. Yeah. So Minnesota on the road to the Dodgers, getting whooped up on the Dodgers tonight, it looks like. Glass now and the padlock on the mound. TV Jones, you got anything for us?
Yeah, it would be Minnesota team first 5 under 1.5. Let me go pull up what that number was. I forget what it is, but Glasnow has been solid. His is what his third or fourth game back from injury here, and he's been good. It is what it is. Like, he's been solid. So I mean, now you're going to get the Twins. Yes, they look good tonight, but I don't know if they will be. I can't find the first 5, whatever. I'll look at it later. But under 1.5, they've looked fine tonight. But I think Glasnow is going to be really good tomorrow. I like the under in this game. I don't trust the Dodgers offense whatsoever. They look abysmal. And no Tanner Scott, huge plus if you're a Dodgers backer or an under backer. You don't have to worry about him coming in and blowing the game in the 9th inning. But I just have no faith in this Dodgers offense. I think Glasnow has been solid enough to bet to back him in the first 5. I don't want to back the Dodgers offense and like take like a first 5 half run or anything like that. I just think he's going to shut down this Twins lineup, and they're going to struggle mightily tomorrow against Glasnow. So give me the first 5 under, and then just completely avoid this bullpen entirely.
Yeah, it's hard to argue against Glasnow pitching well, especially at home. Spoon, your thoughts?
I don't think Paddock is going to pitch well. That's the big thing I have circled here. I know the Dodgers bats are cold. Paddock seems like a pitcher that's really just Jekyll or Hyde, either very good on the mound or terrible. And I don't see him having a great start here versus the Dodgers. I think he's going to try to challenge too many batters, and I think he's going to get punished for it. I would like to get there with the over, but I don't think Glasnow is going to allow me to do it. I think he's going to keep these Twins bats at bay. And I just would have to hope that the Dodgers bullpen gives it up. And it's not enough for me to get to the ticket window, but I like the over in this game.
Yeah, it would only be the Twins for me. That's not me trying to make a case that I think that Chris Paddock is going to pitch well against the Dodgers. But his one start last year, I did cash with him in the first 5. That was a big point of contention on the show. So that was nice. But I'll never forget that padlock. But at the same time, I just don't trust the Dodgers. I don't trust the Dodgers bats. I don't trust the Dodgers bullpen. I do think that it's possible that the Dodgers bullpen is going to get some help, and the guys like Alexis Diaz could possibly pitch well for them, but that's here nor there for this game in particular. But I just feel like this Dodgers team is completely overpriced with this number. So do I think that the Dodgers probably win? Yeah. But do I think they should be priced in the minus 200s even with Glasnow on the mound? Absolutely not.
Voice chat. TJ's on Minnesota first 5 plus the half run and Minnesota money line. Boba's on race to 4 runs. That's there's probably supposed to be a team. There's probably supposed to be a team there, so that's an incomplete bet.
All right, next game on the board: Baltimore and Cleveland. Another winner for everybody today. Everybody got paid with Cleveland today. You love to see that. Eflin on the road against Ciccone. Spoon, you can kick this one off.
Yeah, so Eflin, I'll start there. On the season versus lefties, he's giving up a 1.64 whip and a weighted on base of 0.452. Those are really bad numbers. This Cleveland lineup is full of lefties. They can just absolutely stack it from top to bottom. I think that gives Zach Eflin some issues here. If we look at his last 3 starts, he's given up 4 earned runs, 6 earned runs, and 7 earned runs. Has not pitched in quite a while, dealing with a back injury, I believe. It's definitely not an arm injury. So his first game back gives you some question marks. I don't know where his back's at, where he's really pitching form-wise, so I'm not sure I'm going to get there with him. At his best, he can probably silence this Cleveland lineup, but I don't think he's going to be at his best, and Cleveland's bats are definitely swinging pretty well right now. On the opposite side, we got Ciccone, and while he gave up 6 earned runs in his last start, he almost pitched a complete game, did everything the manager asked of him. They got the win out of it. Before that, 7 innings pitched versus Houston, just 2 earned runs. Before that, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs versus Detroit. This is a kid that's pitching really well. I think he can pitch well again against this Orioles offense. Put me on the board for Cleveland money line.
Yeah, you guys know you guys already know I'm betting Cleveland. Copy and paste what I've been saying over and over and over again for a couple weeks. I think this team is undervalued in the market. I'm sure if they beat Baltimore again, the market's going to start catching up. But the fact that I can get a minus 124 right now is what? Why?
Exactly.
Baltimore's not even hitting. It doesn't even make sense. So I'm betting it now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just bet 124 on FanDuel like half hour ago before we went live. The number doesn't make sense. Not only that, it's not like the Orioles are doing anything versus right. I mean, I think we know this, but if you also just look at it, and maybe Kyle, you can pull it up really quick if you can. The Orioles versus right-handed starters, it's not like these guys are going 4 or 5 innings. They're all going 6 or 7 innings. Bybee, 7 innings. Pepio, 6 innings. Littell, 6 innings. Bradley, 6. Perez, 7. Jansen Junk, 7. I mean, that goes all the way back to the beginning of the month. So they got to Cabrera and Holmes, but Grant Holmes went 6 innings, 2 runs against them as well. So I just have no faith in this Baltimore offense in any way, shape, or form. And Ciccone, minus his last start, and like Spoon said, it was 8 1/3 innings. It wasn't even, it was 6 run, but it wasn't absolutely terrible. And before that, he had been fantastic. So and everybody in the bullpen for Cleveland is to be ready to go. I know some of them pitched tonight, but they had previous days off. Epler's been terrible. Cleveland's offense is starting to pick up. This price makes absolutely no sense. Cleveland up. TV Jones.
Yeah, Cleveland again. Don't really know what we're doing. I mean, Zach Eflin, you guys know the deal. Versus if you look at lefties versus Cleveland, Zach Eflin last 60 plate appearances, number one xFIP on the board, 528. He's got a 13% strikeout rate. His whiff percentage is 12%. He's only got a sub 6% swinging strikeout rate, 47% hard hit, 14.3% barrel. If you translate that to a home run per 9, he's got 6.3. Cleveland is absolutely mashing the ball right now too. They're turning it up. It would be Cleveland team total over anything like that. I did bet Cleveland 25-1 to win the AL Central too. I had to dabble a little bit, threw a little bit of pizza money on that. I was like, well, it's crazier things have happened in baseball. If Cleveland's going to get hot, Detroit's kind of coming back down to earth. They're only 10 games back. Crazier shit's happened. Brewers were 11 back this year. Now they're tied. So it just takes a couple weeks stretch to figure that out. So I grabbed that, and I'm going to be on Cleveland money line also here tomorrow. Believeland, let's go.
Believeland is right, and as expected, a lot of people in the voice chat are on Cleveland too. We've kind of been a Cleveland network for a little while now. Money Mark's on Cleveland, Jacob's on Cleveland, Boba's on both teams to score 3 runs. Trevor and Spoon, as you just heard, are both on Cleveland.
All right, next game on the board. Boston, Phillies. Interesting one here. Spoon, I'll let you kick this one off. I'm just going to say one thing. Kind of want to bet the Red Sox. Kind of want to drink some dirty water tomorrow. What say you?
We got Jesus Luzardo on the mound for the Phillies and Lucas Giolito on the mound for the Red Sox. Giolito's going through a little bit of a renaissance here. If we look at his last 7 starts, he gave up 4 earned runs to that Chicago Cubs lineup. As predicted, going back to Chicago didn't work out that well for him. Break out some of your vices, but before that, I mean, he hadn't given up more than 2 earned runs to any of those lineups. And you see Toronto in that Tampa Bay when they were healthy. These are teams that are swinging the bat pretty well, so I'd put him right there in the mix with Philadelphia. And versus left-handed pitching, which I'm more worried about with Philadelphia, he's got a 1.11 whip and a 3.8 xFIP. Really good numbers. Jesus Luzardo, mentioned Jekyll and Hyde earlier. This is this guy to a T. They were talking about him tipping his pitches earlier in the season versus Milwaukee and Toronto. Kind of looked like he'd figured things out, but it's not somebody that I really trust enough to lay this kind of juice with Philadelphia. Definitely not over the -140 range, and we're looking at -150s to 160s here. So this is a spot just value-wise. I think I'd get there with Boston. I don't think I'm actually going to bet it, though.
I don't like that confidence, Spoon. TV Jones, are you with me? Boston up?
Yeah,
I don't like that.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Boston's
You don't like it.
right.
I can tell you don't like it.
I can see a way for both sides in this one. I mean, Philly hasn't been hitting lights out the ball. I mean, I know they got 4, but that was in 1 inning tonight, 2 innings. Other than that, they did absolutely nothing. Granted, Boston did nothing, but we know Sanchez has been lights out. He's been giving up one or fewer this entire season. Now you got Philly. Their bullpen's completely fresh. Granted, it's not an elite unit, but they all had a day off. They're going to be fresh to go. Giolito, bad outings last time, but he's been solid overall. I can see it going both ways, so I would have to take Boston just based on me seeing this as more of a coin flip kind of game. Giolito, I think, will be fine. Weather-wise tomorrow, where are we at? Yeah, wind's blowing out to left field, 7.5 miles an hour. It's going to be 80 degrees majority of this game. I think Boston can get to Luzardo a little bit. They're hitting lefties, and I think Giolito will bounce back a little bit here. And just going against this Phillies offense, it's not looked amazing. I mean, Castellanos didn't even homer today, and Ozzy Osbourne died. So you know they're in a funk. So give me Boston in this one.
Someone in the comments said Shane Bieber is almost coming back. Is that true?
He had a AAA outing tonight. He struck out 4 in 4 innings.
Uh-oh, Believeland.
What the hell? It's just nothing. Never mind. Boston up, Dirty Water up for me. I've been on the Giolito train now for months. Been screaming at the top of the mountain, people to get on board with me. Phillies offensively don't look impressive in any way, shape, or form to me. I know at home they're a good lineup, but versus right-handed pitching for a while now, they're bottom 10 in this league. I mean, Walker Buehler, 7 innings, 1 run. Jose Soriano, 7 innings, 2 run. Nick Pivetta, 6 2/3, no runs. They got Tapu Darvish. Bergert pitched well from San Diego against them. They only got 2 off of Verlander. They only got 1 off of Rupp, 1 off of Chase Burns, 1 off Pivetta. They got to Dylan Cease. Who cares? So I don't have any reason to believe that Giolito doesn't pitch well tomorrow. And then as far as Boston's concerned, they've done well hitting left-handed pitching all year long, not just one little stretch of a month here or there or a couple weeks. They've been consistently a top 5 lineup versus left-handed pitching all year. They're seeing another lefty. They just saw Shota, which he shoved against them, and Sanchez shoved against them. But now they're seeing Luzardo here. Luzardo's been susceptible to runs on top of the fact that he really struggles with right-handed bats, at least compared to the left-hand side. Roman Anthony and Duran have been the only bats from the left-hand side. Everybody else, they're going to be loading up with righties as far as Boston's concerned. So Boston's going to have a full bullpen behind Giolito as well. I'm going to be playing Boston. I just don't know what the price is going to be. I'm just going to let it watch for the next hour or so.
Voice chat is Jacob's on Boston, team total over. So Jacob likes Boston to score some runs. That's it.
All right. Next game on the board. What is it? That was another great game today. Yankees on the road in Toronto. Trevor, I'll let you talk about this one first.
Friggin' Toronto. God damn it. And how many times they've done this a couple times the last couple of days, leaving bases loaded, not getting guys in. But Bassett at home, I like that a lot better than Scherzer. I even said it last night. Scherzer loves nothing more than to cash people's Yerfie bets when he's pitching, and go figure he made sure that was easy, giving up 3 right away. So other than that, even if he just gives up 2, where at least we go to extras, we'll figure it out. But anyway, it would be Toronto. Now we're getting plus money at home with Bassett. I know Fried has been pretty good this year, but he's started to look more vulnerable. And the Blue Jays come on. Where's the Blue Jays? Here you go.
I mean, you could argue that Max Fried hasn't looked good in a month.
For his standards, sure. Yeah, I
yes.
mean, it's not like he's been horrible, but I mean, they saw him already. They saw him in Toronto already. They went 6 innings. They got 3 hits, 4 earned off of him, 2 homers, and off of 2 walks. So they've taken him yard. But lefties they've seen: Rodon, Ray, Springs, Lopez, Anderson, Fried, Rodon again, Logan Allen. They've gotten 2, 5, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1 and 2, 0, 5, 8. I mean, they've gotten Luzardo. They got 8 off of they're getting runs off of lefties. They're hitting lefties. And we got to also factor in Volpe and that third baseman committing at least 1 or 2 errors a game. They can't throw the ball to first base, and they just let these innings keep going. So we're getting Bassett. Hoffman's not going to go tomorrow, so he's out. But
you're not going to see. Hold on, you're not going to see Devin Williams on the other side. Yankees are also taxed.
Yeah, but it would be Toronto again. Now we're getting plus money with them after they were just laying juice the last 2 days just because of Max Fried. It would be Toronto here, and then they've had the bases loaded 3 times the last 2 days, and they've left them loaded. I think if they get the chance tomorrow, I think they finally scratch them across. But I'm going to take Toronto here plus money with Bassett at home. I'm going against Fried, who they just saw, and they lit up.
I'll be on Toronto too. I've said, first game I took Toronto, said they shouldn't be plus money. Then it swung back. I said, I'm going to take the Yankees here. It swung too far. I'd probably be taking whoever's plus money in this series. It hasn't failed me yet, so why would I stop now? I'm going Toronto here because I think this is a playoff atmosphere type series. I'd be betting whoever's plus money.
Also with the Yankees, Devin Williams, like Sauce said. Also Tim Hill, Ian Hamilton, also 2 of the last 3 days each. Luke Weaver had pitched 30 pitches today as well. So the back half of that bullpen for the Yankees is really not in a good situation either. On top of the fact that Jeff Hoffman went back-to-back days, and there's usually kind of a rule with Major League bullpens. If you go 3 in a row, you usually get 2 or 3 off, and Yariel Rodriguez went 4 days in a row. So I know that he had yesterday off or today off, or whenever you're watching this, but I wouldn't be shocked if he was still unavailable for them. So it's very possible that Toronto doesn't have either one of the Hoffman or Rodriguez, who have been obviously very good for them. It would only be over for me. I don't think I pulled the trigger. I got kind of lucky with my over 8.5 today. But it's another 8.5 here. Both these teams are very familiar with the opposing pitcher. I don't know, though. I don't know if there's enough on the bone for me. Spoon, your thoughts?
I was hoping we'd get an 8 in this game and I could just go and take that over. Nobody mentioned it yet. Max Fried is dealing with a blister right now on his throwing hand. That definitely complicates things trying to pitch well and consistently when you have a blister rubbing off the ball every time it leaves your hand. And these guys throw this with so much torque and velocity. It affects it a lot. It's not anybody I would even think about trying to back to today. I like where Trevor and Sauce are at with that Blue Jays money line, but I like the over more. We just talked about all the bullpen arms being used. Devin Williams and Luke Weaver are the only 2 really trustworthy arms in that New York pen. Yes, they'll put Weaver back out there again if they have a chance to win, but I think the Blue Jays bat Stag Fried and Bassett. His numbers look pretty good on the season. I see that, but versus AL East opponents, I feel like he's always liable to give up some runs. We look at Boston; they got 8 earned off of him. New York, last time they saw him, got 3 off of him. This is a guy that just doesn't step up in these big divisional games. So give me the over.
I'm with you. 100%. I'm with you.
Someone in the comments just brought up when Beaver called Luzardo a trick-ass thought.
Trick-ass thought.
'Cause he didn't go over his strikeouts. That's why. Of all reasons. All right. Yankees, Blue Jays. Mark is on Toronto team total over. Boba's on Toronto team total over. OT's on Fried under strikeouts.
All right. Couple games left on the board. White Sox on the road in Tampa Bay. Spoon, you can kick us off on this banger of a game.
So Brandon Lau just hit the IL again for the Tampa Bay Rays lineup. This is a guy kind of equivalent to me for Kerry Carpenter to the Tigers lineup. Without those big bats, it just looks so much differently. You can pitch to the lineup in just a different way. You don't have to give the hitters in front of them anything to actually hit because you're worried about the next guy coming up. And Jonathan Cannon's numbers don't look elite on the season, but I think if you take that big lefty out of this lineup, the Rays are a lot better matchup for him. He's struggled with left-handed pitching at points this season, and I think without him, he can pitch well. I'd like to get there with the White Sox. I don't think the Tampa Bay Rays should be commanding this kind of price. Taj Bradley's pitched really well in his last 2 starts, going 6 innings apiece and just 1 earned between the 2 games. So maybe it's a spot where he does pitch well, and that's why the price is how it is. But just value-wise, I'd be on the White Sox. It's not anything I'm actually going to bet, though.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. TV Jones.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be great weather tomorrow. I mean, 47% chance of rain to start this game, 36% halfway through. So, I mean, there's a good chance this gets delayed or not even played potentially tomorrow. But it would be White Sox at this price too. I mean, Taj Bradley, yeah, he's been all right, but Tampa as a whole has not looked incredible lately. I mean, they blew a 4-0 lead, and they were lucky they didn't lose that game. I mean, the White Sox had chances. Had this been nice weather, I would have been on the White Sox team total over, but I'm going to honestly probably lean under. I mean, the White Sox bullpen has been lights out the last week or so too. Tampa hasn't been great, but it's not like the White Sox have an amazing offense. Granted, they have looked good. Today they came back to earth a little bit, but I would still be willing to bet on their offense had the weather been nice, but it would be White Sox or under for me in this game personally. Really no true interest in this given the weather situation.
Yeah, it would only be White Sox to score some runs or White Sox for me. If they do play, it's going to be 80 degrees with the wind blowing out to left field, like heavy winds. So I could definitely see there being a delay and then a whole bunch of runs and stuff like that. So it's just really nothing that I want to get involved with, especially laying that type of price with Tampa Bay. So it's White Sox somehow, some way, but heavy emphasis on the pass.
As far as the voice chat, a lot of people agree with the White Sox scoring runs. Boba's on the White Sox team total over. Money Mark is on the White Sox team total over. OT is on the White Sox team total over. Jacob's on White Sox plus 1.5 or pass.
And just really quickly, if people are wondering why they like the White Sox, it hasn't been just a week. They're a top 5 or top 6, I guess, offense on the road over the last 30 days. So it's not really like a flash in a pan. They've been pretty consistently decent for a while now. So last game on the board, Oakland on the road at Texas. I'll let Spoon kick this one off because me and him have the same type of bet, and he pointed me out that the price was way off, so I tailed him. So go ahead, Spoon.
Yeah, I just found the official quote from Bruce Bochy that Patrick Corbin will get the start tomorrow. There was a little bit of question whether Eovaldi possibly could go for Texas. They had him either penciled in for today or Friday. This is a spot where I really think that either pitcher going against this A's lineup is a good matchup. JP Sears, though, versus Texas, this is a Texas team that's really turned around their bats. And Sears is a guy in his last 2 outings given up 9 runs, 12 base runners to weak lineups in Cleveland and Atlanta. So I don't see any reason he doesn't give up runs to Texas. I think Patrick Corbin catches a bad rep for the way he was handled there in Washington. The first 2 times through the order, this guy's been really good for years going back. It's that 3rd time through the order that's always gotten to him. And Texas bullpen is in a good spot to handle the back end of this game for him. Minus 136 on the board at FanDuel. I believe it's still there. It's almost 25 cents off what you'll find in just about any other sports book. So anytime you can get that kind of variance, just go ahead and take it. That's a lot of value. That's it.
Yeah. TV Jones, I couldn't agree more. I think Texas is the much better team anyway. So to get them at a cheaper price, maybe that price comes down because Corbin is now official, but I still, even at anything under 140, I'd be good with. TV Jones, your thoughts?
Yeah, it would be Texas money line in the over. JP Sears is a gas can. Texas is starting to hit a little bit. And then the A's versus lefties, they haven't been bad. I mean, they got 3 off Logan Allen, 4 off Skubal, 3 off of Gordon, 2 off of Fromber lately. I mean, 3 off of Luzardo, 3 off of Sanchez, 5 off of Anderson. I mean, like, they've had a stretch. Noah Cameron and Kikuchi, they got 0 off of that. But other than that, they've been hitting lefties since the entire year, basically, late April at least. So, I mean, like, they're scoring runs. I'd like them to get some runs off of Corbin. I like the Rangers bats to get runs off of Sears. So it would be the over, and I'd lean heavier, but I don't mind a Texas money line. I might double dip since it's the last game of the day. Throw a little bit of money on a total and the side here, but yeah, I think there's going to be runs to be had, and I think Texas is going to have the last laugh in this one, given the Athletics bullpen coming in to try to close the door and win the game.
Voice chat, Jacob's on the Rangers. Spoon, we already heard Spoon's on the Rangers. Money Mark is on the Rangers as well.
And Oakland's one of those teams that does a lot of their damage in the late innings. They're like one of the best teams versus bullpens and stuff like that. So I don't know if I really trust that offense. Even the start against Framber, or the game against Framber, he walked 5 guys. I mean, Framber walks 5 guys in 2 months. So I don't know. I don't know how much stock to put into Oakland, but interesting. That's it.
Spoon, when's your next show over at Pub Sports?
I'm going to be doing a show Thursday with Jimmy the Bag. He just got back from Vancouver, nice and fresh. Excited to hit all the MLB games with him.
Cool. Yeah, betting league stuff. Be up in about 20 minutes. I'll be up for a while. Hit me up if you need me. See you all.